hopeful the river can reopen this week. Gas prices are slightly higher in Western PA this week at $3.85 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. Today's national average for regular gas is $3.63. This marks an increase of 4 cents from last week and 20 cents from 1 month ago. Today's average is 3 cents cheaper than last year, and compared to last week, oil prices are a few dollars cheaper with minor fluctuations. The average current price here in Beaver County is $3.86. Governor Josh Shapiro's administration formally certified that a record $900 million will be available for statewide property tax relief through the Department of Education and local school districts. As is required by Act 1 of 2006, Secretary of the Budget Yuri Monson certified that this record amount of relief is sustainable for at least the next 5 years, and local districts will be required to pass this funding on to local taxpayers. In addition to the $900 million for statewide property tax relief, the Shapiro administration also certified that over $175 million is available to support the historic expansion of the property tax rent rebate program. Last year, Governor Shapiro and legislative leaders in both parties worked together to expand the program and to pass the largest targeted tax cut for seniors in nearly 2 decades. Our newscast this hour is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
I'm Patty.
And I'm Bob. We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Beautiful weather in store for us today with sunny skies and a high of 74. Increasing clouds tonight with a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. We'll drop down to a very mild low of 56. Breezy with showers and thunderstorms expected tomorrow. Some of the rain may be heavy at times. We'll reach a high of 75. A chance of early morning showers on Thursday, then partly sunny skies with a high near 70. And showers likely in the early morning on Friday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, April the 16th of 2024, we currently have a temperature of 54 degrees with sunny skies in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Now, it's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and beavercountyradio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
I don't know if it is a universal, but for me, this is certainly the case. When you go to work, if somebody says your day can go quickly or your day can go slowly, I think most of us would say, well, no, I want it to go quickly. I want to feel productive. I want to move forward. I don't want it to drag. My first guest today makes my day go so much more quickly. Tom Young of First Consultants is my guest for this first hour. Jeff Boast will join me second hour, but Tom Young is here now. And this is being live streamed on our page and on your page. And how are you? Well, wait a minute. How are you?
See, it's terrific, Eddie.
There we go.
My common answer, wonderfully terrific. Mm-hmm. I refuse to tell myself anything different than that. Hi, folks out there. I got live. I'm live streaming on my Facebook page, and so
On the
we're here
station.
to shake things up a bit today.
You were telling me before we came on what we're talking about.
Well,
and
we're
going to shake
gonna
it
talk
up.
about the fraud and the conspiracy of. I mean, why is it that Bureau of Labor Statistics, their statistics show that 95% of the people end up dead or dead broke by age 65? Now, why is that? How does that happen? What can I do to avoid it and create my own financial success? That's what we're going to talk about today. We start every program with a prayer for everybody around the world. This COVID virus that came out of the Wuhan lab in China that is owned and operated by the CCP of China. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But here we are, and we're 3 years later, and we've gone through some really crazy, tough times over that period. People have lost their great health. People have lost loved ones. So our prayers go out for healing for the people that have had their health impaired because of the virus, people that have lost their loved ones, and we pray especially for the loved ones that have been lost, that the Lord would take them to his kingdom of heaven above. The world seems to be on fire today, so our prayers go out for Russia and Ukraine war, that these idiots would come to some sense of peace and stop the destruction and killing. We pray for those in Israel with what is going on over there that started in October, and now it seems to be escalating, so we pray for peace. We pray for all of the people that have been killed and the destruction. Lord, we need your help. America needs your help. There is so much trouble and challenge going on. Now, when I say all that, I don't want to be totally negative, folks, but in every bad situation, there is always opportunity. So it takes a little bit more strength of heart and a little bit more courage to look for the stream of light in all the darkness. In Jesus' name, we pray for his help. Anyway, I'm Tom Young, and I'm the financial coach of Beaver County. I have clients in 38 states, and my book, if you want a challenge, and I did this, and I was really curious, does anybody know who I am around the country and around the world?
They know.
So go on YouTube and put in the Family Money Farm - the CFO Project by Thomas W. Young, and see what comes up. I was blown away, Eddie, with it was page after page all around the world. People have recognized my book. It is amazing.
Does that add more pressure when you know there are that many people paying attention?
No, it doesn't add pressure, Eddie. It gives me peace because, I have a purpose in life. It isn't about selling stuff to people, although people buy a lot of financial products through me. I make a great living. But it's really about helping people to find their way in this quagmire that we're sitting in right now. I looked at the debt again yesterday, and we're at $34.657 trillion.
Oh, you usually let me guess.
And in January, we were 34.038. So $600 billion in 3 months.
That was going to be my guess.
Times 4 is $2.4 trillion. So we're on pace to borrow another $2.4 trillion this year. Now, the unfunded liability 3 months ago was $211 trillion. It's now $214. So in 3 months, it's gone up by $3 trillion. So times 4, that's $12 trillion increase in a year. And what befuddles me, I can't fix this. You and I aren't going to fix this one day in or day out. But I just really don't understand why people continue to sit on their butt in the chair and let the information go straight over their head. You got to stand up, folks, and let it hit you in the chest, because the politicians in Washington have buried us so far down the well. We're below the water level.
Oh, by a ton.
Tons under the water level. So I want to focus today on what can I do for my own security and my own financial survival. And really it comes down to my unique approach. I have some rules that I teach people. I've authored several books: Life Insurance Will It Pay When I Die, The Family Money Farm, CFO Project, Jumpstart Your Financial Freedom, Financial Marketing Coaching, Financial Mastery Coaching, The Blueprint, and I'm working on a new book right now, and I co-authored a book with Kim Butler, Live Your Life Insurance. So all of that, life insurance. Here's what I want to challenge you to do, folks. Go on the internet and do a search. BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. See the people that are using us to make us rely on them, to make us dependent. This is that World Economic Forum that meets in Davos every year. And guess what? There's a whole bunch of our politicians that go to that. So they are also indoctrinated. So this is not about us anymore. It's about our survival. And that is where the scary part of everything is going on, is figuring out how do I survive and thrive. And that is the answer to what's going on. I did some research last night, and in 2020, April of 2020, the savings rate in America hit 36%.
What does that mean?
That 36% of their annual income was going into savings. I guess that was because that was right at the COVID hit in big in March of 2020. Mm-hmm. So this is April of 2020, and the savings rate was at 36%.
Bless you. Bless you.
Saving rate was at 36%.
There's been worse stuff spewing on that microphone. You're good.
Well, that was
you
why
turned
I turned
away. You were professional. Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
So here we are in April of 24. At the end of 2023, the rate had dropped back down to an average savings rate of 3.1. Now, I realize
wait,
now,
what was it before?
3.1.
But what was it that it dropped
End of
from?
23. That was just a few months ago. The average savings rate went from 36% in April of 2020 to 3.1% in December of 2023. So what is the cause of that? Well, first off, the one cause is inflation. It's eating up our paychecks. Right now, 3 years ago,
grocery
compared to
stores.
today, if you had $1 3 years ago, Eddie, today it's only worth 80 cents. And those are the government numbers. And I have proof in the 80s. I have a study from the Princeton Economic Consultants from Princeton University. During the decade of the 80s was more turmoil about money and interest rates than we'd had since the Great Depression. In 1979, Jimmy Carter was president, and he drove inflation through the ceiling to 15.6%. The federal government decided to change the way that it calculates inflation, so they started taking goods and services out of the basket that they used to determine this.
That's nice.
So it automatically, well, look, inflation is really lower. We just don't count that stuff anymore. What they take out of the basket? Automobiles and mortgages.
The stuff that cost money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in 86, Ronald Reagan negotiated with Congress and put all of the millionaire man army into the unemployment calculation. So now, if you're in the military, you were an active working person. You were considered as part of the formula that's used for unemployment, and they no longer calculate if you're out of benefit. You're not looking for a job anymore, Eddie. If you run out of benefit, you're one of those people you're just there. They don't count you as an unemployed anymore.
Really?
So the unemployment rate today is 3.6 or whatever.
But not
that
really.
Doesn't count all the people that gave up looking for a job. They're out of benefit, and they're just out there wishing they could find a job, but they don't count anymore as unemployed people.
That is a great way to make the math work when you can change the formula at will.
The politicians, and remember, politics, I have a definition for the word politics. Poly is many, ticks are blood-sucking insects. And unfortunately, there's a lot of great people in Washington. I'm being sarcastic here today, but Glory be. We got to do something different, folks, because the politicians don't have to make decisions that we voted people in to go down there and fix it. Is that not true? Would you agree with me? We elect people to go to Washington and fix it.
We elect people that tell us they're going to go to Washington and fix it.
No, you hit it on the head, Eddie.
Yeah.
They tell us they're going to go to Washington and fix it. And they had this party down there. They don't talk about it much, but they had this private party, and all the new people, they lay them on a massage table, and they pour the Kool-Aid in them. They strap them down, tie them up, and then they pour the Kool-Aid in them. And here they are.
Indoctrinated.
I loved the movie. What was it? Jimmy Stewart was in it. It was about, he was the country hick senator and went to Washington.
Mr. Something goes to Washington. Mr. Smith, thank you.
Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on in there right now, folks. Bear with me. It takes me a while to think it up. Okay?
Yeah.
But it is amazing to me on why people aren't, my phone's not ringing off the wall. What do I have to do, folks, to get you to believe that I do have the answer? I challenge anybody. I don't care what level you are economically. I can show you how to change your future. I don't have a time machine, so we can't go back to the beginning and start over again. But I can change the ending in your game to a huge, huge positive way. I show people how to save astonishing amounts of money and create mountains of wealth that they had no belief that they could create.
How much are you swimming uphill against a lifetime of indoctrination?
We're going to talk about that.
That's a fast-moving stream.
I got lots of information with me today. I tried something new yesterday that I have not touched. Chat GPT. Artificial intelligence.
AI.
So I have some answers to some of these questions today that I brought with me.
According to
this Chat
AI.
GPT, artificial intelligence, is telling me about. And I have some new information, something brand new I've never talked about, the QFS technologies.
I like acronyms.
Quantum financial system.
Quantum financial system.
Quantum financial system. So you want to make sure you come back after the news and the break. We're going to go on a break here. It's time to go, and we'll be back after the news, and I'm going to tell you about the quantum financial system.
Another reason why I love when Tom Young shows up, he runs the show. It's great.
Thinking of what's good for lunch or dinner? Make it McDonald's with a hot and spicy McChicken sandwich available now for a limited time only. Enjoy crispy, tender chicken seasoned with a bold mix of spices, topped with shredded lettuce mayo, and served on a perfectly toasted bun. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Let's face it, work is a large part of your life. Why not choose a job that allows the opportunity of a fulfilling career working with people who appreciate you? St. Barnabas Health System is looking for extraordinary, service-minded people to join our team. Earn and learn with career opportunities on our clinical, housekeeping, and food service teams. For more information and to apply, visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-444-JOBS. Jobs that are apart from the ordinary. Find them at St. Barnabas Health System.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, a law firm of AB-rated attorneys and super lawyers. Attorney Larry Kelly.
That we establish relationships with our clients, because I still believe that relationships still matter. That this isn't strictly business between me and the client, that there's a relationship that develops. And there's nothing more important, I think, in any attorney-client situation than the client believing that the attorney actually cares about them personally.
For your initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the Best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
Here's Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy as he explains the importance of pre-sports testing to help you reduce the risk of injury.
The intrinsic factors are looking at things within our body that could be causing the problem. So that we start to look at as physical therapists, shoulder range of motion, forces at the elbow, things like that. We're looking at the whole kinetic chain. For example, turning your head side to side. If you have less than 39 degrees of that motion, you have a 9 times increased likelihood of an injury. So these intrinsic factors are both measurable and modifiable. So as a physical therapist, I can take a baseball player or any kind of athlete, I can do my tests on them and see if they're within normal limits or outside of normal limits. And based on research that's been done, I can tell if there's a likelihood of injury or not.
If you need physical therapy for any reason, choose the place your friends and neighbors do. MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
Water, essential to our survival. Water, do you know what's in your water? Water, hard water, discolored, funky smell, funky taste. What you gonna do? You're gonna call Lou. Lou Negley's Bottled Water and Water Treatment Systems. Is your local water company giving you grief about your rental tanks? What you gonna do? Call Lou. From the testing to the pre-engineering and installation, put your water and your trust in a company that offers over 65 years experience. With the emphasis on local. Negley's Bottled Water and Water Treatment Systems, your local water experts.
Do you like sports? Then tune in every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Brian is loaded with statistics and interesting sports viewpoints. The show can also be seen on the WBVP-WMBA Facebook page. Plus, Brian will be taking your calls as well. That's One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Beaver County Radio.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning. We can expect sunny skies today, reaching a high of around 77 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. We have learned additional details about a large fire that took place in Rochester on Sunday. The fire took place on East Washington Street. Rochester Fire Chief Mike Mamone says that 2 houses were destroyed and 4 others were damaged. 1 firefighter was treated for a hand injury and 2 firefighters were taken to the hospital. Chief Mamone says 12 fire departments were on scene for over 3 hours fighting the blaze, and the state fire marshal has been called in to determine the cause. Gas prices are 2 cents higher in western PA this week, clocking in at $3.85 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. The national average per price of gas is up to $3.63. That marks an increase of 4 cents from last week and 20 cents from a month ago. The current price of gas here in Beaver County is an average of $3.86. A stretch of the Ohio River near Pittsburgh remains closed to maritime traffic as crews equipped with sonar look for a barge that they believe sunk over the weekend. The barge is one of more than 24 that broke loose and floated down the river, striking the Swickley Bridge and causing extensive damage to a pair of marinas. No injuries were reported, and officials are saying no hazardous materials spilled into the water. Commander Justin Jolly of the Coast Guard Marine Safety Unit in Pittsburgh says he is hopeful that the river could possibly reopen this week. Governor Shapiro's administration has formally certified that a record $900 million is going to be available for statewide property tax relief through the Department of Education and our local school districts. As is required by Act 1 of 2006, Secretary of the Budget Yuri Monson certified that the record amount of relief is sustainable for at least the next 5 years, and local school districts will be required to pass the funding to local taxpayers. In addition to $900 million for the statewide property tax relief, the administration also certified that over $175 million will be available to support the historic expansion of the property tax and rent rebate program. Last year, Shapiro and legislative leaders in both parties worked together to expand the program and to pass the largest targeted tax cut for seniors in nearly 2 decades. A new study is highlighting the importance of Pennsylvania's early intervention program and its services for infants and toddlers at risk of developmental delays. Here's more from Danielle Smith.
Carrie King, who heads Pennsylvania Partnerships for Children, explains there are 2 early intervention programs, Part B for preschoolers aged 3 to 5, and her group advocates for Part C, which supports infants and toddlers and is administered through the Department of Human Services. King says only 46,000 children are served by Part C.
The way services are delivered is usually in a home setting. So you'll have a trained professional come into the home to meet with whether it's mom or dad or another caregiver to address whatever concerns might be present with that child.
As the state budget for the next fiscal year approaches its June 30th deadline, King adds the Thriving PA campaign supports Governor Josh Shapiro's proposal to increase funding for Part C early intervention services. A $16.6 million boost in the governor's budget would allow an additional 3,000 children to receive support.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Beautiful weather in store for us today with sunny skies and a high of 74. Increasing clouds tonight with a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. We'll drop down to a very mild low of 56. Breezy with showers and thunderstorms expected tomorrow. Some of the rain may be heavy at times. We'll reach a high of 75. A chance of early morning showers on Thursday, then partly sunny skies with a high near 70. And showers likely in the early morning on Friday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, April the 16th of 2024, at 34 after 9, we've got a temperature of 59 degrees with sunshine in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Talk about what's happening in Beaver County or around the world on Teleforum. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. It's Teleforum with Eddie Crow.
Indeed, it's 25 minutes till 10. Tom Young is here, my guest, first hour. Tom Young of First Consultants. And we're going to solve people's problems, but you got to get them to listen. And that's what you do every day. That's absolutely. Is that the toughest thing in life, to get other people to pay attention?
It is, Eddie. And, you know, I do my podcasts. I work at 3 a week. I don't very often miss, but 3 a week around noon. And I always say around noon because inevitably when I'm on there, I have some kind of access problem or whatever. So I don't have a big crew that I pay to do this. I'm on my own, and I like it that way. I'm fine with that. But it just frustrates me that people, and I ask them, you know, send me a thumbs up, send me something, and I have very hard time getting people to respond, and it drives me crazy because I have the answers. I have proof of the answers, mathematical proof that what I do works. I've been at it for 49 years. I I have to say, probably the last 25 to 30 years have been really the focus of what I do today. And continue to get better at it because I go to, actually at the end of May, I'm going to a conference in Houston, Texas. It's called software called Truth Concepts. You can go to Truth Concepts online and you can get the software 10 days for free and play with it because it is absolute. Todd Langford created the software, and I've known Todd for 35 years.
What does it do?
It mathematically proves everything we're talking about, Eddie. It shows the opportunity. Here's an example. If I put $100,000 in a CD, earning 6% interest,
all right,
in 35 years, it's going to grow to $578,000, give or take a couple dollars. Okay.
All right.
All right. And when I get there, that $578,000. What did it cost me to get there? Okay,
now,
I put up $100,000.
So there's $100,000.
I put up $100,000. Plus, every year I got interest on the account. I had to pay income tax along the way.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And every time I pay $1 to income tax, I also lose the opportunity cost of that dollar. Because if I spend $1, lose it unknowingly, unnecessarily, did I not lose the interest I could have earned on that dollar in addition?
You lost future potential earnings.
Exactly. Okay. Now, at the end of this period of time, 35 years from now, what is the dollar worth? You know, and 3% inflation, 35 years, the dollar's worth about 30 cents.
And I've already given away,
in purchasing power. So now when I add all that up, the tax I paid, the opportunity cost, and the loss of purchasing power, I spend over $780,000 to end up with $578.
I am really bad at math, but that sounds like a not good idea.
There it is, Eddie. Let me remind everybody. You know, I've been doing this a long time, since Chris Shovlin. 1986 was about the beginning of my career being on Teleform with Chris Shovlin. He was the program manager and everything at that time, and on and on. And even then, I had this $1,000 reward. Okay, win $1,000. All you have to do is disprove anything I do, anything I say, what I show clients. But I'm going to warn you now, don't bring Aunt Mary opinion or Billy Bob from Work's opinion. Bring your calculator, because everything I do is mathematically provable. The advice that I give is mathematically provable. And I've never, in all these years, 86 till now, Eddie, how many years is that, 40 years? Almost 40 years?
37.
37 years, I've never had anybody even try to get the $1,000. No attempts.
Does that make you more comfortable?
No. The point of it is, that people are so misinformed, uninformed, and everything else. The financial world is against us.
That's not what those nice commercials tell me, Tom.
They're lying, Eddie.
But they use such a
they are
dulcet
misleading
tones.
People. You know why? And here is the crux of the problem, Eddie, is people lack belief in themselves, or they have doubt that they are not worthy to have what you can have.
I'm not good enough to have that much good.
And that's your own problem. That's in your own mind.
Yes.
In your own thinking. Because I was there at one time, Eddie. You know, I grew up in a household. My dad had an 8th grade education. I loved him dearly. He worked his ass off. He worked 3 jobs his whole life that I remember. And I remember his main job, he made, this is National Electric in Ambridge. And this was years ago, and it was bought out by a company called H.K. Porter, and we've heard of that name. That's around.
Yeah.
And that was prior to 1972, when the government brought ERISA into law that protected men's pensions in work. Well, H.K. Porter bought out National Electric. It was a small machine shop in Ambridge, job machine shop. My dad worked there, and H.K. Porter bought it out, and they bankrupted it. They spent the pension. See, prior to 72, when a company was being operated, if they needed revenue, they could use the revenue was sitting in the employee's pension plan.
Really?
And so they drained the pension plan. My dad retired with 29 years in National Electric, and he got $77 a month for the rest of his life from Travelers Insurance Company, which was the company that they set it up with.
That underwrote it.
$77 a month for 30 years of working in that mill. That was his pension. So I know all about what went on. Now, growing up in that household, academics was not on my mind. So when I went to high school, it was because I had to go there. And when I left, I was not proud. I graduated with a D-, but I did graduate. And what saved me
stands for diploma.
U.S. history was a teacher named Wiley, and he would come into class and he would sit there and say, outline chapter 2 and 3. There'll be a test at the end of the week. He never taught anything from the front of the room. That's all we did was outline chapters. He never spoke, never explained anything, so it was a boring-ass class, okay? And most of the kids there hated it and hated him. But I had another class with a guy named Budemer, and it was economics. This is my senior year, and I loved the economics, what he taught. I got an A in that course, and I flunked U.S. history, and I got an A in economics, so they gave me a D-. So that's how I graduated, folks. I'm not necessarily proud of that, but what I learned over my lifetime, what have you learned about you over your lifetime? What have you tried to learn about you? Have you tried to improve you, to grow you, to become a better person today than you were yesterday, with more ability today than you had yesterday?
Sometimes.
So this journey that I was on in the early days, I had no I had no confidence in who I was. I was going to be an auto mechanic. That was what I was destined to be. I went to the Air Force, and that was, to me, that was the opportunity. I wanted to work on jet engines. I was into motors and cars, so my dream, there it is, I want to work on jet engines, and they made me a medic when I went into the Air Force. So that was squashed out of my mind. Got out of there, and I met a lady that I've been married to. Our anniversary was Friday, April 12th, 55 years.
55.
And she's been the difference. Because through all of the hoopla and all the dumbass stuff that I've done, and I'm sorry about swearing so much today, but she stuck by me, and here we are today. I'm not wealthy, you know. I love what I do. The blessing that the Lord gave me is I love this. I love what I do. I love helping people. I love educating people, and right now my biggest fear is we're on the edge of possibly losing what we know as America today. I mean, with the immigrants coming across the southern border, the millions of Chinese military-age men, and if you're not paying attention to what Xi Jinping is doing over there and what they're thinking about, what their long game is, they are patient people like the Muslims. Theirs is a long game, and I don't want to get into religions and not, but folks, we're in trouble, and we need to wake up. And we need to elect people that are patriots into our political system that have the guts and the to do something to straighten things out. There's only 4 rules to the financial world. I want all your money. I want more ongoing. I want to keep it forever, and I want to give back as little as possible.
They don't mention those in those really nice commercials, do they?
No, but if you look at all the products they recommend, isn't that the results of those products? So you're waiting, we're going to take a break?
No, and we're not going to.
Okay. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is the reason your self-worth and self-pride and thinking you deserved things that previously you didn't think you deserved, is it all down to meeting that one woman?
That was part of it, but along the way, she gave me the courage to. I wanted to please her. You know, in life, it's just like our kids. And my first professional talk I did in Houston about 8-9 years ago, I called it the BTE talk. Be the example. Mm-hmm. We are all examples for other people, Eddie. We all have people looking up to us, whether you believe it or not, or even know who they are. We have people that are watching you, what you do, and looking up. I have my little poem with me here today, The Little Chap Who Follows Me. And let me... The little chap who follows me, a careful man I want to be, a little fellow follows me. I do not dare to go astray, for fear he'll go the self-same way. I cannot once escape his eyes, whatever he sees me do, he tries. Like me, he says he's going to be the little chap who follows me. He thinks that I am so very fine, believes in every word of mine. The base in me he must not see. The little chap who follows me. I must remember as I go through summer sun and winter snow, I'm building for the years to be the little chap who follows me. Isn't that what life's about, Eddie?
What it should be about.
We're so busy with everything else in life, and if we just live a good life, we keep our head down and stay focused on dreams and goals in our life. And very few people, because that's the first thing I ask people when they come to see me. What are the big goals? Tell me about your aspirations, your goals. And people really have a hard time with that. What I'll get is, I want to be able to pay my bills when I retire. Well, you know what? If that's your goal, you're going to. There's 4 questions to the retirement. How much money do I have to save so that I have enough when I get there to last me throughout my lifetime? Okay, and with adjustments for inflation. How much interest do I have to earn on that money between now and then? So again, I'll have enough money to retire and live out my lifetime with adjustments for inflation. Number 3, what's the date? What is the date? And number 4,
very few people know
how much
that.
am I going to have to reduce my lifestyle in order to be able to retire and have enough money to last throughout my lifetime? Folks, I can answer those 4 questions in 20 minutes in my office.
Tom Young is my guest. I am going to take a break now. I've got a question for you when we come back. It's Teleforum on Beaver County Radio.
Push Beaver County is presenting the 44th Annual Beaver County Maple Syrup and Music Festival happening Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st at the Lodge in Brady's Run Park. Join Beaver County Radio for a live broadcast both days from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. You can also spin the all-new birthday prize wheel for a chance to win a great prize. Beaver County Radio's broadcast at the 44th Annual Beaver County Maple Syrup and Music Festival is being brought to you in part by Push Beaver County, the Beaver County Transit Authority, Hallowed Grounds Coffee Beanery, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Patriot Home Care, Monroe Auto Body, S.E. Snyder and Associates, and Beaver County Radio.
Beaver County Transit Authority connects you to where you want to be. The doctor's office or well-deserved shopping spree will take you to wherever you please. Safe, no fuss, leave the driving to us. Hop on, adventures coming your way. Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. Ride the bus.
With winter blues coming to an end, the Beaver County Transit Authority is excited to announce big changes are coming soon. We are reimagining and redefining how we connect Beaver County and can't wait to share it with you. Want to stay in the loop? Sign up for our email notifications at www.bcta.com or follow us on social media at RideBCTA. Stay tuned for more information.
The Rochester True Value, located inside the Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard, is proudly serving the community. The Rochester True Value is independently owned and operated and has experienced workers who can help you with your home projects. The Rochester True Value has tools, products, and all the equipment needed for you to get the job done. The Rochester True Value inside the Shop and Save is open and ready to help with your home improvements. That's the Rochester True Value in Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Beautiful weather in store for us today with sunny skies and a high of 74. Increasing clouds tonight with a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. We'll drop down to a very mild low of 56. Breezy with showers and thunderstorms expected tomorrow. Some of the rain may be heavy at times. We'll reach a high of 75. A chance of early morning showers on Thursday, then partly sunny skies with a high near 70. And showers likely in the early morning on Friday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 67. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
It is 59 degrees in Brighton Township. I'm Eddie Crow. Tom Young of First Consultants is my guest. He is live feeding this on his Facebook. We are as well. One thing, and we hit on it very briefly early. Why don't people pay attention? It's one of two things to me. It's they're just beat down and don't have the energy, or they bought into the brainwashing of the system. Because what those commercials tell you ain't in your best interest, but we've been pounded with those commercials and those plans from banks for our whole lives. And it's straight up propaganda brainwashing.
The question is where does our knowledge come from? And on the break we were talking about college. So I call it, the ultimate in brainwashing. And unfortunately, the scary thing is look around the country today at what we are producing as college graduates that are on the street protesting, death to America, burning the American flag, and this stuff going on. These people need to be packed up in a boat and give them a slow boat to China and send them over there. Send them to Xi Jinping because you think you're going to come here as an immigrant and you're going to stand up and chant death to America. Hey, buddy, I'm a patriot, and when it comes to the end and things got to happen, I'm going to be on the front line of things that got to happen. So this is the greatest country on the planet. It's God's project in my mind. That's Tom's opinion. And that's the way it has to be. But the indoctrination, and that comes back to the Fabian Society that I've talked about, that goes back to 1895 in Europe, and it was prominent in America in the 1930s. George Orwell, Orson Welles, some of the biggest influencers in America were part of this. And the whole mission statement of the Fabian Society was one grain at a time, one child at a time, slowly indoctrinate them to think socialism. It was about bringing socialism to the world. And that is what's happening in our education. This woke stuff that's going on, and now you got me started, Eddie.
I know.
And that's really what's going on in America, and we got to stand up. I mean, the silent majority, it's time to not be silent anymore. And it starts at the voting box in November. And to anybody that wants to vote Joe Biden back in for another 4 years, God bless you. I pray that God protects you for the rest of your life because you need it. You are brain dead people to think that Joe Biden is anything but a puppet behind Obama and whoever else is running the show, and goes all the way back to the Alinsky. Go look it up, folks. The Alinsky, 10 things to destroy a country, and we're in the middle of it right now.
Saul Alinsky, right?
Saul Alinsky.
Yeah.
Look it up. I want to close. I mentioned this, and I want to talk about this for a minute as we round the clock.
Okay.
The QFS Technologies. You can go online, look it up. QFS, Quantum Financial System Technologies.org. That's QFStechnologies.org. This stands for the quantum financial system, which is often discussed in various online forums and articles, particularly in the context of finance and conspiracy theories. I think we've become a world of conspiracy theories, and over the last several years, how many conspiracy theories aren't conspiracy theories anymore, Eddie?
They became
theories. Real.
They became theories.
They became true.
Yeah.
So the quantum financial system is a new monetary system. It is now live in Europe, and it is going live in 2024 in America, USA, and Canada. This is the new rainbow currency backed by gold. It's going to be global.
Who's gold? Whose gold?
It's the gold that they've already acquired and massed. So
it's the gold we don't even know about.
The quantum computer, we're just hearing the briefs of it. Quantum computers are the 1,000 times faster than anything we know. Mm-hmm. And I read this before. Nasara Jassara, if you want a copy of it, email me. I'll send it to you. But number 10, now this document was written in 2010. Creates new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency. There it is, and Quantum Financial Systems has rainbow currency. And it started in 2019 in Europe, and I'll let it go there. You need to come and see me, folks. 724-728-6820. Go to www.1stconsultantsinc.com. On that page, right at the top, four lines of text. Right at the end is my calendar. Book an online appointment, a phone call, or a Zoom meeting. Give me the opportunity to change your life. God bless, Eddie.
God bless you, Tom Young, First Consultants on Teleforum.
The views and opinions expressed on WBV